Welcome back everyone to a very quick informal review of the new licensed scout, the Rezvani tank. Instead of nitpicking like usual in other reviews, I'll just quickly give you a couple main downsides that I did not like, and then I'll talk about some of its strengths as well. But don't worry, more formal reviews will not be going anywhere. I just felt that this was a vehicle that did not take much time to formulate an opinion on. So some of the things that have been displeasing right off the bat are: number one, no trailer support, just like its sibling, the Hercules. In my humblest opinion, I believe scouts, if they are added to this game, they need to have this. So this new scout joins the crew of letdown trucks that just don't have a hitch. Next, and the final downside here that it really stood out to me, is its gearbox power curve. While its first gear is around 80% of its power, its low gear actually doesn't touch 100%, which is kind of odd. Yet high gear is definitely intact and a great option for this vehicle, and I highly recommend it. However, after on-stream testing, I didn't really feel its gearbox held it back in any way because it has 120,000 torque on its top engine, so I didn't really feel it was that big of an issue. In truth, scouts really don't need much power in general. Even some of the smaller engines on scouts do just fine in most conditions. In a lot of cases, due to scouts having crazy power to weight already, downsizing for efficiency should be an option here. Some things that I thought were good: if we're speaking about power here, we know it has a super strong engine at 120,000 torque, so in the scout class it's actually a really strong engine, but it might not be needed. But however, with that top engine, it seemed it was able to overcome the odd power curves of its gearbox. Another advantageous thing, even though we are speaking about its gearbox, is it only has a 10% all-wheel drive penalty, making the gearbox quite efficient because the engine it has in it is already efficient as well. The next upside I want to talk about is its weight. In SnowRunner, scouts really don't weigh that much. However, if you look at prior reviews, the AAC 58DW actually weighs pretty good amount for a scout. And this vehicle right here weighs the exact same as the AAC. So I believe this is super advantageous for scouts because it actually feels planted and not just like a piece of paper floating on top of a surface in the game. And I thought that was really good. The JAT tires also help its balance a little bit more than its custom tires. I did feel the vehicle was somewhat stable, but I wasn't as confident as I was in the AAC. So its native tires, the customs, I believe you'll have pretty good performance with those all around. However, I would probably just use the JAT mud tire to lengthen out your footprint on the ground and give you better balance. Lastly, I wanted to briefly touch on its suspension, which I felt was actually really nice to drive. While I didn't feel its balance was superb, its suspension did aid in the vehicle's balance in areas especially on rocks and other obstacles. The flex is absolutely present, and you can see the cab sway back and forth and the suspension working when driving over these said obstacles. So in conclusion, the question is, should I buy this vehicle? Well, I believe that all depends. Honestly, I felt as this truck was meant for expeditions and not for SnowRunner. I will spare you the long lecture from prior streams and videos on this subject right here, but I definitely have been missing the mid-tier hauling class trucks instead of the super heavies or scouts in SnowRunner. I think that if you're a fan of collecting vehicles in the game, or you just genuinely want to support Saber, then yes, purchase this vehicle. But if you'd like to see something different, then no, do not purchase it. Personally, if I did not make content on this game, I probably would not purchase this one either. But that is just my humble opinion. Anyways, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this really short, informal review. In the future, we really hope to see some good additions added to the game moving forward. So until next time, God bless and stay upright.